welcome back to my channel. It is Christian here, and you're tuned in for more of my 2 cents. Thank you so much for joining me. I am so glad that you're here. If you're new to the channel, then welcome. And if you're returning, then hey y'all, hey, thank y'all back for tuning in today. Well, thank y'all for tuning in today. I love that, okay? I love that for you. I love that for me. And I'm so glad that we get to do this together. So let's jump into our 3 points that matter most before we start any discussion. Number 1, you're not alone. Number 2, you're not crazy. Number 3, God, your creator, still loves you. And I do too. It's going to be great, okay? It's going to be good because if you've read the title for the video, all I'm going to ask is that you stay tuned until the end. Okay, because I know that the subject line has shock value, but so does my 2 cents. So I want to start off by saying that my name is Christian. My mother named me Christian, and I know what the definition of Christian is, all right? But I also want to preface by saying this. If you're new here, you have not watched any of my other videos, or maybe one of my other videos led you here. I am a free thinker. I used to... in the beginning stages of my deconstruction journey, I still had like the fear. I still had the, I'll call it conviction. I'll call it conviction because it was based off of my beliefs at the time. I was like still trying to remove like so many blocks from my mind and my emotions and my spiritual knowledge that I would go back and forth, like feeling bad about certain things, questioning certain things. Am I right for thinking this? Am I wrong? Oh my gosh, this is going to send me to hell. I should stop thinking these thoughts. God is probably angry at me. I used to like really feel like that when I questioned certain things in the earlier part of my deconstruction journey. And now, child, I'm just all the way out there. I'm questioning everything. Nothing is off limits for me, including today's topic of, is Satan more powerful than God? Is he? Is it? Because Satan, just like God, does not have a sex. There's no gender there. However, growing up in church and in regular conversation, people have assigned genders to both spirits or beings and whatever. So if I fluctuate between saying he referring to Satan and he referring to God, it is because of that. It is because of that mental conditioning where I've heard it so much my whole life and have referenced God as a he and Satan as well. So I still use the term, but that's not like what I actually believe. I know that neither one of these beings are in physical form, nor are they gendered, okay? But I am saying, and I want to make sure it's very clear, that I am not trying to blaspheme God at all here, but I am making it a point to ask questions that need answers. And that's what I do over here on my 2 cents, okay? So I like to keep the discussion open, flowing, authentic, transparent, and respectful, right? If these are things that you've ever thought about or questioned, more than likely your girl is going to address it because my mind be going, all right? Because I don't know. All I know is what I've been told. I don't know these things because I found them out for myself. I know what I used to believe because someone else indoctrinated me. Someone else shared those thoughts with me and those beliefs, and I adapted them as my own through no choice of my own. And that's just the truth. I didn't want to be a Christian. I was made a Christian. I was born into a Christian household, and that's just what I know, right? And my name is Christian. And I like that. I like that about me. I like my name. I'm not trying to switch that. But belief-wise, there are some things I do not agree with and I do not align with in Christianity. But that's neither here nor there. Today, we are questioning if Satan is more powerful than God. And I'm going to stick to my points so I can make sure that this is all clear, concise, and nobody thinks twice about whether or not I am crazy. Let's do this. Okay. My first question and point that I want to make, which really is the foundation for all of this. Satan is plays such a huge role in Christianity, like in religion. That's who you're fighting against. That's who we're warring against. That is the ruler of the earth. That is the ruler of the flesh. That is the character that everyone that is a believer or a Christian or whatever is trying to pretty much flee. You're trying to flee the enemy, okay? Satan goes by a lot of names, right? So we have the devil, we have the enemy, we have Lucifer, we have demons, we have spirits, right? We have manifesting, which the manifesting in church is not the same manifesting as in, it ain't the same, right? Like at church, growing up, when I heard the term manifest, it was because you were manifesting in a bad way. You were acting out. There was a demonic spirit in you. You were showing your tail. You was cutting up. You were throwing up. You was levitating off the ground, manifesting, acting up, doing wrong, out of the norm, like whatever. So Satan goes by a lot of names, just like God, right? So God and Jesus. You got the Father, you got Jehovah, you got Jireh, Nisi, El Shaddai. It's a lot of names for God. I'm just saying, these are just all of the things, or all of the terms of endearment or belief that God is. And so when I think about my experiences in church and my religious background, once I got out of church, you guys, I stopped seeing Satan as, well, no, it wasn't until recently, actually 2020, the end of 2021 or 2022, I stopped addressing Satan as a character in my storyline. Like, I don't rebuke Satan. I'm not fighting against demons and spirits. I'm not warring against the enemy. I'm not trying to evade hell or any of that. And that brings me to my point of, why does Satan have to be rebuked so much? This is my first question and my first point for, is Satan more powerful than God? That's the question. Remember that for the rest of this video. I simply want to impart a thought into your mind for you to get clarity and understand, why does Satan have to be rebuked so much if Satan is not as powerful as God? Why is it that when you choose salvation, or after you've chosen salvation, or once you're saved and once you're supposed to be free and have eternal life and all of this stuff and all of these blessings and wealth and riches and health and all of this stuff, why is it always, I want to get loud, why is it always that Satan has to be rebuked? If you have a headache, right? Rebuke the enemy. Bind Satan. Satan, we bind you, devil. Cursed be your power. We demand you to go. Why is everything Satan? It's almost as if though y'all talk about Satan more than you acknowledge God's power. It's like a rebuking Satan and pleading the blood of Jesus. Let's rebuke the enemy and then apply God here. It's like, let's move Satan out the way and replace it with the Lord. So what you're telling me is that Satan had enough power to even infiltrate the situation, be it your home, your finances, your marriage, your mind, your body. Do y'all get what I'm saying? This is just what it appears as from an ex-church, like avid churchgoer. The storyline never really adds up to where Satan is not being rebuked or cast down. Satan always is present in a problem. Next point. Why is Satan always attacking believers only? Do y'all know? Does anybody have this answer for me? Why does it seem like everything is an attack from the enemy on the body of Christ? Right? Satan is out here attacking the body. Satan is out here coming against the people of God. People are sick, people are dying, people are doing this, people are doing that, and it's all Satan's fault. You lose your... I was talking to one of my friends from our old church from back in Mississippi, and we were talking about the pastor's wife, and right now something's going on with her, and it was just so funny to me how she was like, well, I went to see her, whatever, we were talking, I noticed something was strange with her, and she ended up mentioning it, and it was her voice. Like, her voice has pretty much faded. Like, the woman, like, she talks like in a very shaky, raspy, almost like she's struggling to get her voice out, right? And so my friend says, the pastor's wife tells her that She went to the doctor to see what was wrong, and they couldn't tell her. Like, they couldn't see anything wrong with her vocal cords or anything like that. Child, what is the hair doing? They couldn't see anything wrong with her vocal cords or anything like that. And so she said, it's Satan. Satan is attacking her voice or stress. It's either Satan attacking her voice. It's a trick of the enemy. It's a trick of the enemy, or it's stress. This is what this grown 40-something-year-old, 50-something probably now, 50-something-year-old woman said. My doctor can't figure out what's wrong with me. So it's the trick of the enemy, or it could be stress. But I'm going to go with the trick of the enemy for 400, Alex, because we just need to blame it on somebody, okay? Since we can't blame it on the alcohol. Shout out to Jamie Foxx. Since we can't blame it on that, we're going to blame it on Satan. Pass the ball. And it's almost like it's mind-blowing to me, because I'm like, how? How did that baby get to that? If it's your voice, it's your voice. I don't know how a spiritual being or entity has so much power to attack the people in church who are constantly praying, constantly fasting, constantly tithing, constantly crying out and speaking in tongues and shouting and rebuking the enemy. How is this how is this individual being, spirit or whatever, so powerful that it seems to only want to attack y'all? If for no other reason, get out of church because you won't be attacked by the enemy no more. Because I ain't been attacked. I have not been attacked, y'all. I have not been attacked, y'all. Have not been attacked. Not been attacked. I ain't been attacked. I ain't been bothered by Satan or nothing else since I left church. And that is the honest to God truth. Because I'm no longer making Satan a character in my storyline. I do not have to rebuke the enemy for the devourer's sake. I don't have to do that. I don't have to do that. I don't have to wake up and say things like, God made death behave, like while I was asleep. What? This stuff sounds good. This is what people say in church, like when they wake up the next day. I'm so glad that God made death behave on my behalf. What? What? So if you have people that you know that have heart problems, diabetes, having strokes or heart attacks or cardiac arrest or cancer, whatever, those are not attacks from Satan, y'all. This stuff is hereditary, right? It's dietary, right? It's lifestyle choices. You're predisposed, like there are pre-existing conditions. There are things that have happened that lead to these manifestations in your body. Like the lack of well-being that starts somewhere. There's a source, but the source ain't always or ever Satan. But church people will always blame it on Satan. And Satan clearly seems to like to target believers only. If you don't go to church, Satan do not want you. And that should make you happy. You should be grateful. But then church people will twist it on you and be like, oh, if Satan ain't attacking you, you already his. Please leave me alone. If that's the case, great. Right? I'm not doing anything that would make any evil spirit or being feel like I'm a part of their troop or their camp. But if that's what you want to come up with to recruit more people in fear, go right ahead, dear. Have at it. Because people will literally tell you that. Satan don't bother those, right? That's not a threat to his kingdom. That's what they out here saying, y'all. I'm not making this stuff up. Satan takes care of his own too. They say that, right? God don't bless no mess. But Satan do take care of his own. So if you're walking around here living foul or doing things that aren't holy, don't think that your blessings are coming from God. Satan take care of his own too. But then you just say that Satan out here making y'all sick and hurting y'all though? So now Satan got equal power as God to advance and to elevate people. Y'all got to get what I'm saying. Either God and Satan have the same amount of power or Satan is more powerful than God. Because at this point, y'all are making this character very much like omnipotent and omnipresent. Y'all are giving this man the clout of the century, respectfully. Next point, is it possible? Is it possible? Is it possible that humans are causing their own problems and blaming another source for it? I just touched on that, and I'm not going to go backwards. I'm not going to go backwards. I'm going to move forward, okay? Ask yourself this question. The power that we are giving this source, that we're giving Satan, is it possible that your own issues or detriment is being caused by your own choices, ideas, thoughts, energy, emotions, past occurrences that you have not corrected, made right, or even changed from? Like, we've talked about karma. You know, everybody talks about karma coming back, you know, what goes around comes around. I'm not a believer in karma so much to the extent of what you put out, you get back, because there are some things that I've done that I haven't gotten back. And I don't believe that I will, because I and myself have made, I guess for a lack of a better term, amends, or I've just shifted the kind of person that I am, so that energy is no longer being put out from me. Like, I'm no longer sowing that kind of energy, that kind of behavior, that kind of mindset. And so those things won't manifest in my future or in my present, because I'm not exuding that to come back to me as my experience. And there's not even a fear there, like, dang, I hope this don't come through my kids or whatever. Like, no, unscathed, untouched, unbothered, because mama has made it right? I've switched things about myself in my life, and I'm not lagging in those things to feel as if though this is an opening, as some would say, for it to come back, be it through what some would call generational curses, which I've always also made a video about that. I do not believe in generational curses. That's not something I'm holding on to. You have to understand that everybody in your family or in your life, they make their own choices and do their own thing. That is not coming back for me. I'm not attaching myself to that. I'm not accepting that as a reality or as a possibility. So it comes down to who has the power, God, Satan, or you. Which one? Which one? And the person you talk about the most is the person that you're giving the most access to actually change or alter your experience in life. And more than likely, people are talking about Satan more than they are God. And that's why it confuses me about people in church. And it's like, do y'all really want the blessings of the Lord? Because y'all spend so much time talking about doing away with or rebuking and binding and casting out Satan. Why can't you just flourish in what you desire and dead the things that you don't? Like, don't give it any attention. But anyway, next up, who allows Satan to be powerful and present? Like I just said, it's either God, Satan, or you. For me, it's just me and God. It's just me and my creator. I don't have any, I have nothing to do with Satan. Satan has nothing to do with me. I do not believe in Satan. I'm saying it flat out. Today, I do not believe in Satan. I don't need to believe in Satan in order for my existence to be. I don't. If we have been taught and indoctrinated about God and why God so loved the world and, gave his only begotten son, all those things that you're told in church, why would you then mess up that perfect story and enter a red demon with the pitchfork? Like that character had to have his place for a reason, to evoke another emotion and another level of fear, or not even another level, but just to give contrast to the story. And it's not necessary. So I don't need Satan in order for my life to be what it is or what it's not going to be. I have one experience, and it's the experience that I accept. Satan is not allowed. That's just what it is. So if I live like Satan doesn't exist, I cannot be disappointed. Either way, I won't be disappointed either way, because I'm not doing anything that would send me to wherever y'all claim Satan is. And I'm not doing anything that would make God upset, that I'm not accepting the counter of his greatness. And then I don't want to acknowledge that it is insanity that God would be upset because I don't think Satan is real. The fact that anybody would have a problem with me saying Satan does not exist is crazy, because it's like, I can't get any less cool points for not acknowledging the devil. Why would God be mad at me for not giving the devil place? You get what I'm saying? Let's keep going. Oh my goodness, I'm hitting all my points before I get to my notes, girl. Go on, girl. You doing it. Okay, so my next point was, can the devil exist if it's not acknowledged? That's there you go. There you go. I'm not acknowledging Satan. So Satan does not exist in my world. I'm not giving Satan power. I'm not rebuking Satan off my children, off my marriage, off my finances, off my life, off my mind. I don't have to do that. I just rather wake up every day in gratitude for peace, for clarity, for a husband that loves me, for children that are healthy, stable, and thriving, right? For finances that are abundant and full and operates from a surplus on a consistent, stable basis. Why not just do the counter of what people need you to rebuke? Just don't acknowledge that. Don't live and dwell in having to fight that all the time. That's what makes life tormenting and hell on earth. When you don't know how to just live in the goodness because you have to always acknowledge the bad. Just focus on what is working. Focus on what is good. Focus on what is available. Focus on what is present. Focus on what you want more of, not what you want to fight against. Don't do that, because it's going to have to keep showing up in order for you to feel like you've conquered it. I don't have to conquer Satan. That's not my business. That's not my business. Okay. Are believers really fighting against evil or their own bad decisions? Y'all, your girl, I don't even need the notes, baby, because I'm hitting this. I'm hitting it while I'm talking. Are believers really fighting against evil or their own bad decisions? Some of these things are literally just happening in your experience because you are attracting, aligning, and allowing them to actually be present. If you want something to have to fight against, you're always going to have something to fight against. If I believed and said things like once a cheater, always a cheater, or all men cheat, or the only faithful man, all men cheat except for Obama. I've heard people say that. If I say stuff like that and believe it, whether I say it jokingly or not, that stuff is in your subconscious and you believe that, you align with that, you allow that to be your truth, and you attract that into your reality. All of this is real life, you all. And this is what frustrates me about church and ministries who don't actually equip believers and members with real information to exist in this world. We are powerful. We are so powerful. And a lot of people are following shallow, void humans with titles that don't have none of this equipment or tools that I just gave y'all. What I just told y'all is so powerful. You don't have to acknowledge Satan. That's how powerful you are. You don't need Satan. You don't even, I'm gonna go further. You don't even need God in your story in order to just exist. You're here. Whether you know how you got here or not, think about it like this. My children, well, I think we've kind of explained how they got here, but they don't even understand. They don't. I know they don't. We didn't explain sex. Our children don't understand the reproductive system. So they don't even know how they got here, but they're existing. They are existing happily. They are existing in a thriving environment. They're not sitting up in turmoil like, oh my God, why are we here? Oh, mommy, tell me, like, why would somebody make us? Like, how are we made? What are we supposed to be doing? They're not toiling over that. They're here. And now they're just going after what they want. Like, ooh, that's available? Oh my goodness, we can go there? Oh my goodness, we can have that? Oh my goodness, this tastes amazing. Oh my goodness, you're beautiful. Oh my goodness, I love this toy. I love this app. Can I get this game? I want those shoes. They're just here creating what they want to experience. No, I'll take that back. They're just here experiencing what has been created. without even caring about the source of how it got here. The dangerous part about this is that we were robbed of that freedom to enjoy our existence. Somebody blocked that shit. Somebody, whoever told you the resurrection story, the story, the crucifixion story, we were robbed. Like straight up, no chaser. We were robbed of our freedom to just exist and to enjoy that which has been created. This was not meant to be this complicated, y'all. That's why I don't have a problem with people who may be atheist or agnostic. I don't have a problem, because the undoing of it allows you to freely just exist and to take in whatever you are experiencing in that moment. There are no limiting beliefs or barriers in your mind to why this isn't happening or that. Now we're categorizing everything as good and evil, right and wrong, love and hate, right? All of that is confusing because we're trying to compartmentalize like approved in like salvation and sin. We're clouded in our judgment. And everything we feel like we have to give our opinion or give our judgment on, and we don't. We don't. Either it feels good or it doesn't. Those are the only two emotions. Either it feels good or it doesn't. And I'm going to tell you this right now. Sometimes, y'all, when I was in church and living the saved life, salvation did not feel good. It didn't. I constantly felt like I was missing the mark and I needed to switch something up and do something different, ask for something different, go to church a little bit more, stay on the floor and pray a little bit longer, cry and shout a little bit harder and louder, speak in tongues a little bit stronger and faster, because I wasn't feeling the freedom and the joy of the salvation that was promised unto me. I ain't mean to go that far, but that's where it ended, okay? Because I don't want to take y'all down a wild goose chase that y'all ain't ready for. But think about it like that. It was messed up for us. This experience was messed up. Our worldview is tainted because we were indoctrinated. Doesn't feel good. But it can feel better if you just release and ask when no one else is willing to ask. And that's why we're here today. My last point is God weaker than Satan, or do religious people not believe in his power, in their power enough? Is God weaker than Satan, or do religious people just not believe in the power of God enough? Because I'm telling you, if you believe in the power of your creator or your source, there is no need for Satan to exist. There is no need. You were given this character, and you are definitely drawing this out further than it needs to be. And if in fact Satan is real, why on God's green earth would you get in trouble for not acknowledging Satan? Because in all of this, isn't the point to only praise, worship, and focus on God and exalt God? So ignoring Satan, not trying to resist Satan in temptation, but ignoring the existence of this character, wouldn't that make more sense for you in life? Yes, it would. But if you remove this character, it makes you more powerful, because you can focus on only the good and never feel like there's contrast holding you back on the other side of that. And that, for me, is what I believe people in church, pastors and leaders, either they don't know or they don't want you to know. Either they themselves don't know this truth or they don't want you to know this truth. But truth like this is what needs to be shared widespread so people can get free, stay free, and understand that they're not chasing healing, deliverance, wholeness, or anything. They're not chasing that. They're actually running from something they also created. I don't want it. But the question is still existing for me. Is Satan more powerful than God? Because it definitely seems like people are giving Satan all of the glory for a lot of things that they themselves have possibly created or simply allowed. All right, that'll do it. That's I'm gonna let y'all go on and know. I've enjoyed the video. Hopefully you guys have as well. Very thought-provoking for me. Very thought-provoking. And a lot of empowering things have been shared in this video. And I just hope that it does something for you like it's done for me, that it frees you the way that it has freed me, that I hope I did a good job explaining it as it was coming to me, because I know I can be very passionate sometimes and very direct and probably but that's because I get so excited. I want other people to know this truth and consider these things in life and let this penetrate your, not just the surface, but the core of who you are and who you thought you were and who you are becoming. Ultimately, that's what matters. Who you are becoming. All right. If you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe to the channel. I would love to add you to my 2 cents crew. Until next time, I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.